I'm not I'm like really impressed. Like I haven't, none of it, I mean, I'm just trying to say, I see a lot of attorneys, I mean,
I really appreciate it very much.
I know it doesn't mean,
No, it means a lot to me. I
just a
appreciate
deputy,
it.
but
No,
that's just my perception.
I look at everyone as a person.
No, and I can tell that.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, hey, if you need more, let me know. I got more for you.
You couldn't know that when you're doing additional voir dire.
Correct. So,
The first, like,
yeah, so typically, if they do things the way that you would normally do it, we're going to have 21 up here.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Question, then at that point, you usually have the questionnaire that goes into married,
Right,
kids,
all the
got,
basics, what do you do for a living, what do you do?
right, so I assume that's when they'll really, and then they call it.
Perfect. That's exactly what I do. To keep track of who's who is very different.
Yeah, and so when you get the list, they will be lined up. Yes, we did.
Good compliment.
Starting with one here.
Yes. From the deputy.
And the,
I told you.
you guys those nice.
Thank you.
Because 15, from my understanding. So, these are very beautiful.
Like one of the,
So they're not going to be in. Yeah. So, y'all just have to know they have 15 right here. We're taking your notes, copying them. But then everybody else is going to be
I don't want that.
numbered and in their order starting with
Or whatever, yeah.
yeah, how
They're gonna,
get
you're gonna hear it. They're gonna tell you how they're
I just want to start thinking about how.
gonna pre it.
And so you'll be able to follow along on the list. You'll be able to look out there and kind of count and
Excellent. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Need like sticky boards and stuff too to try to help keep track of everything.
Okay. That's terrible.
I did, but then I got a new pair later on.
but I'll still sign it. See what happens.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna have a fight at some point, but I'm trying to avoid it.
Never fight with you, Dan.
All right. I should come up here and become a state prosecutor. How's that like that?
Have a good game.
Cases come through. I don't like prosecuting.
Certainly sounds like you were about to say if these cases come through, you would consider.
No, I consider going to the pink.
That would be
I consider trying to become the federal.
use you.
Or just going and teaching history at a high school. I think so, man. These every trial takes. I did two,
It's a gift and a curse.
curse, and it's good and bad.
I used to go really. I wasn't over.
I need to go to therapy.
I
It wouldn't hurt.
I found that it you were ready today. About what? A little bit. Side of your other side. On the side. Better. That's better. Yeah. I don't have these problems.
I don't think it's bad.
Now you're afraid. Yeah, you do got a wing. There's no, the wing has retracted.
We're gonna tell the jury you've been in jail. I'm gonna tell them.
Gotta be careful when.
I'm not gonna say anything.
They'll be here about 1 to 2 years old. Yes, sir.
I do it on my own. Yeah, it's not so bad. It's actually like, I feel like when you're alone, it makes you better a little bit because you have nobody else to rely on, you know? It's just like, you're just super alert to everything. What does she do? What subject? Yeah, I feel like that's. I'm sure you're better than me.
Unwatchable is terrible.
Right. Oh, because she was right. Yeah. They always, you always, the grass is always green. I always think, oh, it would be so great to be able to stay home and realize if you're home, you probably think about all the things you had on at work. Or whatever she wants. Yeah. Right.
Feeling like that.
Juror, that emotion related.
I didn't even get it.
Like,
I'm a lovable guy.
so when other people are doing, I was talking to my shrink about this. I had literally.
Did you get your
I mean, oil.
She's all set up. So the process of it,
The problem is,
right?
from a young age, I've always been like,
Yeah.
my initial instinct is right. Always. So I know you just want to be accepted.
I do. I will.
Or be part of it. And I didn't even need to be
I don't.
find out.
Even though I'm starting to get, I went through a time. Now I'm just,
I like being alone.
no, but
No idea why this is blind through.
maybe those folks aren't coming. I don't mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. This is why, because we've already done this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. That's what it is.
But it takes a while. I've been there for the last 2 years.
Did Charlie get one?
No, I didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Guys, you gotta look. But it took exploration and bringing nothing right, but it's such a psychedelic trip where you see some shit. Hey Bill, do you have an extra pen? You're not just giving away what you're saying.
Here.
Oh, there is? Can I get a red and a black? A red and a blue? Red and a black?
I never should.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I knew what mental was about. What's that?
Hear yourself.
Yes, ma'am. How dare you?
Of course I will.
Thank you.
25.
together, I was a problem solver.
That's nice. You married to a lawyer? Your wife a lawyer? What is she?
She was a journalist, and now she's now a teacher. I would never marry her.
No.
They have to be. Fairness.
Girl, you're a little behind on that one.
Morning, everyone can be seated.
Morning, Judge.
Coming in from one of my mystery entrances to keep everyone on their toes. All right, do we have our next grouping of jurors that's ready to come up? Okay. Do the parties have anything to raise with the court before we bring in the next grouping?
Judge, just one thing. You offered yesterday that the courtroom is wired.
Correct.
You might have the ability to hear a tape of the proceedings.
As far as what was going on in the gallery, if you need to try to obtain it, yes. I mean, to the extent the camera is always running in this courtroom, whatever sound it's picking up, you can certainly request it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
State anything to address?
Judge, we would request that Your Honor read the group, the burden of proof, what else is in presumption of innocence, and probably maybe right to remain silent. Those seem like things that were coming up in our individual voir dire.
I don't have a problem doing that. I was assuming it could hold until we got to group voir dire, but given some of the issues that were raised by the prospective jurors, I certainly believe that's proper. Does the defense wish to be heard as to the reading of those instructions?
No, Your Honor, I defer to the court.
Very well. Presumption of innocence, burden of proof, and right to remain silent will be read as a part of the introduction that the new grouping of jurors will be given this morning, along with the statement of the case. One thing that I typically go through as well is the actual reading of the indictment or the information, but do you all prefer it just to be left at the statement of the case for now?
I would just say the statement of the case, and the only thing that I would add is that this is then going to be repeated for the jurors that didn't hear this yesterday.
The statement of the case?
Well, no, not the statement of the case. The presumption of innocence.
Correct. Now, before we begin the group voir dire, believe me, I'm going to read it again just because it's as many times as they can get into their minds. The defendant is presumed innocent. The state has the burden of proof. He does not have to speak. The better off we'll be as far as getting through the group process.
I believe you, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring them in. Good morning.
Slide down, I need to put as many as I can. The last one. Yeah, last one. You'll start the next row for me, please. Good morning. You have a seat there for me, please. Good morning. You'll have a seat right there. Repeat start this row for me, please. Good morning. You fill in for me here, please. Good morning. Good morning. Can you have a seat right here for me, please? Amy Pelt will help you. Start my next row. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yep. Good morning.
Everyone can be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stephen Everett, one of your circuit judges for the Felony Criminal Division here in Leon County. You have been summoned here today as prospective jurors in the case of the state of Florida versus Charles Adelson. This is case number 2016 CF 3036B. This is a criminal case. The state has charged Mr. Adelson with the crimes of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder. You will notice at times during the jury selection process that I will be reading to you. It's not that I do not wish to have a free-flowing conversation with all of our prospective jurors, but rather any explanation that you're to receive concerning the law must be uniform and specific. Is the state ready to select a jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
And for the record, I'm going to note that Mr. Adelson is present in the courtroom with his counsel. The first thing that I'm going to do this morning is go through the qualification process with you. I think you will find that the questions I'm about to ask will be fairly simple. This will also probably go a little bit quicker if I walk down to where you are, so that way I can see your responses and see if anyone has their hand raised. If all of our prospective jurors could please rise and raise your right hands, I'm going to administer the oath to you at this time. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will answer truthfully all questions asked of you as prospective jurors, so help you God? Yes. You may be seated. The series of questions that I'm about to go through with you are based on statutory provisions that would disqualify you from serving as a juror if you cannot answer in the affirmative. If your answer to any of the questions I'm about to pose to you would be no, please raise your hand. Are you at least 18 years of age? Are you a United States citizen? Are you a legal resident of Leon County? Do you possess a driver's license or identification card that has been issued by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, or have you executed an affidavit attesting to your eligibility to serve as a juror? Have you ever been convicted in any state or federal court of bribery, forgery, perjury, larceny, or any felony, and your civil rights are not restored to you? Are you at the present time under any prosecution for any crime in any state or federal court? With that being said, no hands were raised for the record, and all the jurors are qualified to serve. The next thing I'm going to go through with you are bases on which you can be excused by law. Depending on the scenarios that I'm about to read to you, if you fall into any of these categories or believe that you may be excused based on the information I'm about to give you, please raise your hand as well. Is anyone here a full-time, sworn, federal, state, or local law enforcement officer or investigative personnel? Is anyone here an expecting mother or a parent that's responsible for the full-time care of a child that's under 6 years of age? Is anyone here 70 years or older? We will speak with you, ma'am, in a moment. Has anyone performed state jury service in the last year? Is anyone responsible for the full-time care of a person with a physical or mental incapacity who is incapable of caring for themselves, and you being here today would cause a hardship for that individual? Is anyone here a full-time student between the ages of 18 and 21 who is attending either a high school, a state university, a private post-secondary educational institution, a Florida college system institution, or a career center? For everyone that raised their hands, if you can form a line right here, and we will address you one by one. If the attorneys can return with me to the bench.